There are many things that a good remake should do, and many traps that it should avoid. Especially when looking at a classic game like Metroid 2, it is easy to simply screw it up. I'm Magius Delcado, and we're going to take a look at how well AM2R does in bringing Metroid 2 up to the latest standards of the 2010s. In my opinion, AM2R is a nearly perfect remake. It keeps what made the original interesting and fun, adding more to find and explore on top of that framework, while simultaneously fixing the issues that lessened the potential of the original game. What is particularly interesting is how the game went about doing it. We start with the framework that the game is built on. It's pretty obviously based on the Metroid Fusion engine, with its particular jumping physics, ledge grab, and speed boost mechanics. Then, a few of the rough edges were filed down, and done in a way that improves the overall formula. The update to the space jump, allowing you to enter into it even if you started from a standing jump or after being hit or firing your weapons, is particularly noteworthy as it turns a niche item that was nice to have to something that makes getting around the game brilliantly easy. It's not the only updated system either. The speed boost also gets a few new techniques to it, letting you shine spark when in morph ball form, or putting you back at speed when you hit a slope, all of which are put to the test to get certain upgrades throughout the game. Each of the main areas got a special treatment, making it feel like a full complex, long abandoned, dedicated to the creation and raising of the earliest Metroids. Power plants, distribution centers, temples, even the last cavern in the game shows a number of what could very well be housing units. This gives each of the areas a unique feel, making exploring the caves much more interesting, and gives you a natural flow to the game that was lacking in the originals. Finally, there were some bits added to the mix to really make it stand out as its own thing. The geothermal power plant where you get the power bombs, the gravity suit room, and the bosses after getting the bombs and the gravity suit. All this and more were added to the game as part of the remake, and they all feel natural to the Metroid world, expanding on an already good story. But not everything is true to the original. In addition to the new areas, there are some places where the map was updated to make things fit together more easily. Some of the enemy types were given different behaviors from the original, and a lot of item drops were updated to fit with modern Metroid design. The Metroids were probably the hardest hit by these changes. While the original Alpha Metroid fight is very similar to the original, the Metroids quickly adapt to Samus's fighting style and become better about staying out of her line of fire as the game goes on. Gamma and Zeta Metroids get much the same, and the Ultimate and Omega Metroids can be quite the challenge if you're not prepared for them. Or, if you are ready for them and keep your cool, they're not really much of a challenge at all. So with all that good, is there anything bad about the game? Well, it is a touch too linear for my tastes. Granted, this has more to do with the game it was based on than anything else, but it is still something that stands out compared to the other Metroid games. Sure, there are still areas to backtrack to and get things that you couldn't access before, but it's mostly compressed to the end of the game and almost entirely optional. It also feels a tad too easy, at least on normal mode. Everything feels pretty safe. Even after the geothermal plant explodes, leaving you with little health, it's just a short run to the save point to heal up and get going again. With the extra energy tanks that were added, there's just nowhere that you feel like you're about to drop, especially once you get out of the first few areas of the game. But this amounts to very little in the overall quality of the game. It is a truly wonderful recreation of Metroid 2, and sets the bar for all future 2D Metroid games. While I understand why Nintendo sent the creator a cease and desist form regarding it, I would rather have seen them hire him on and head the development for a new era in the series. Perhaps finally taking us beyond Metroid Fusion and exploring the universe that Metroid takes place in. Most of all, I would love to play this game on a Nintendo 3DS or the Nintendo Switch. But for now, all we can do is play it on the computer, and it is definitely still a very fun experience. So until next time, folks, Magius out.